The idea of marketing your Etsy shop can be very tricky and very overwhelming, especially to someone who is new. So I'm gonna be sharing with you one of my favorite ways to get more eyes on my Etsy shop, on my Etsy listings in general, especially when they're new. So that's what we're going over in this video today. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Mac. I post videos talking about e-commerce, passive income, different ways to make money online, and all things Etsy. So if that interests you, I'd love for you to join our community here on YouTube. I remember when I first got started, there were so many overwhelming things to me about marketing, and I did not know where to start. I didn't know if I was supposed to start posting on social media. I didn't know if I was supposed to be paying for ads, and it's overwhelming. And this is the way that worked best for me and was something that I actually was seeing results, seeing my analytics change, especially on my Etsy shop, and it does not require paying a lot of money up front at all. So we're gonna be using Pinterest in this video today, and I know many of you may have seen Pinterest videos before, you may have seen my other video going over on this, but I wanted to kind of update and just make a new video on this, especially with utilizing photos rather than short form video content. So think of Pinterest as a search engine rather than a social media platform, because that is what it is. It's relating more towards Google rather than it would be like Instagram. People are going to Pinterest looking for ideas, looking for inspiration, looking for gifts, looking for aesthetics, right? Where social media, it's more curated towards the scroll rather than the intent to use it for a purpose. That's what's really important about why Pinterest works and converts really well, is people are going there with an intent. So the best way to start marketing your store on Pinterest is going to be to post photos and link them directly to your store. Now, the key to this is really understanding your target audience, what they're looking for, and using mock-up photos or product photos that are really going to curate towards that aesthetic. I don't care what anybody says, aesthetics are very important, especially in the times that we are selling on today. Everyone is shopping online, everyone is looking at things and a curated aesthetic to what they want their life to look like or what they want products to look like. So the very first thing that you're going to need to do is to create a Pinterest account. Do not use your personal account. You want to create a separate account that's going to be for your Etsy business or your print-on-demand business, whatever your business is. So you're going to have a separate account that we are going to brand just like the branding in your online store. So you want your Pinterest account to have the same banner photo. You want to have the same logo going on, the same color schemes. We want to really curate that same aesthetic of our brand onto our Pinterest store. So the very first step is to create your Pinterest account, and we're gonna be using this one just to promote our products. I do recommend making this a business one so that Pinterest knows that you are a business. Totally up to you. I just recommend doing that because the analytics page is better. Now, the next step is going to be making sure that we are posting aesthetic photos and videos of our products on Pinterest. Now, depending on what type of products you're selling and the overall idea of who your target audience is, that is what needs to be reflected in your photos and your videos. Like I mentioned in my last video where I was saying how to really get to know your target audience, that is super important here, because if you're just throwing random photos, throwing random things out there and you don't know who you're marketing for, you're not gonna make sales. It's just not gonna happen. You need to know who you are selling to. It's so, so important. So make sure that you're really clear on the aesthetic of what your photos and videos should look like for the product that you're selling. And one of the best ways to do that is to go on Pinterest and to search and look up what other people in your niche are selling. What do their photos look like? Click on them, check out what's going on, see what is working, what is coming up for you with your keywords that you're using on Etsy when you type that into Pinterest. That'll give you an overall idea of maybe the aesthetic is a little slightly different, maybe your photos need to be slightly different on Pinterest than they are on Etsy. It is a different platform. So do your research and figure out what type of aesthetic photos you need to have in order to convert over to your Etsy shop. Once you have an idea of those photos, now it may be the same aesthetic from your Etsy that you can just drag and drop those same photos that you're using on Etsy that are already selling, or we can use mock-up photos from a website called Placeit. Now, I love Placeit. I talk about them all the time. They have so many different types of photos. It's so diverse. It really can hit any target audience. So I really recommend having a Placeit account. If you get your mockups in a different way, that's fine, but I definitely would check out Placeit because they even have like videos for products. So if you're selling print on demand products or digital products, this will help you. So I do have that linked below for you, and I will link a tutorial as well for that, but I am gonna show you how we can get a photo and how we can post that on a Pinterest account. So this is the product that I'm gonna be showing with you how we're gonna get photos for it that we're gonna market on our Pinterest account. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to Placeit. I'm just gonna go right up to the top here and type in back of hoodie, and they are going to have a bunch of different options for back of the hoodie. So here you can kind of just scroll through and you can see what I mean, like there's different aesthetics for that actual product. So I'm just gonna scroll through here, and once I find one that I like, I'm then gonna put my design on it and create the mock-up. So I'm gonna use this photo here, and like I said, I'm just going to drag and drop my design on it to create that mock-up. This is super easy to do if you've never used Placeit before. You literally just pop that design right on here just like that. Make sure it's, you know, looking like your actual product that you're selling. And then I'm gonna change the color. So I am selling a black hoodie, and boom, just like that, we have a photo that we can use to market in our Pinterest account. And this is gonna convert so much better than a photo like this that's like a stock mock-up photo. Those are good for your actual product photos so people can scroll through and see. But when we wanna stop someone's scroll, especially on Pinterest, to give them the aesthetic that they're looking for or what have you, they need to see a photo like this, because this is going to build more of a emotional connection in their brain rather than just seeing a stock image, trust me. So really easily, look how fast we were able to create this. So I'm just going to download this image, and this works for so many different types of products. So again, if you are doing print on demand, this is going to be your best friend. Once you have your photo, your mock-up, wherever you're going to source that from, make sure that you have it saved so that we can go over to Pinterest, and I'm going to show you how you would upload your pin. So I just went to create a pin. I'm going to drag and drop that photo. Boom, beautiful. And then the very important part here is that we need to add in our keywords, and we need to link our product link so that when someone does click on this, it's going to bring them directly to the product and they can make a purchase. So a great way to figure out your keywords that you should be using on Pinterest is to utilize Pinterest itself. So I'm going to type in one of the keywords that I'm using on Etsy so that someone can find this. So one of them is VSCO hoodie. That is a keyword for this type of product that I'm selling. As you can see, there's lots of different types of products like that image that I just created, and like the product that I'm selling. So I can see here some of the keywords that are being used. So I do know that VSCO hoodie works, but here we go. So this person just did it directly from their Etsy account, but I like to actually create the pin on my own. So Ocean Beach, aesthetic hoodie, Tumblr sweatshirt, okay. And you're just gonna kind of click on some of these and take note of the different keywords, you know? So just doing some research, but utilizing Pinterest itself. So I'm seeing a lot of aesthetic, oversized hoodie, summer sweatshirt, fall aesthetic hoodie. I'm seeing a lot of different types of words. So that's gonna be how I curate the title on this pin. So I've just created my title here. It's very similar to what you would do for an Etsy title. Like I was saying, it's giving me a preview over here. Focus on the good hoodie, trendy sweatshirt, VSCO. I've used all the different keywords that I've found previously on that search that I did. So again, very similar to how we would get our title for Etsy. You can even implement the exact title that you used on Etsy to see if that works on Pinterest. You can even duplicate this, try out a few different things. You get the point. And then in the description here, I'm gonna actually copy and paste that same title into my description just to give it some keywords. And then I'm going to bring that down a little bit, and I'm just gonna give a brief description of the product. So focus on the good hoodie made to order in my self-love Etsy shop. And I'm just kind of bringing in, you know, a few more keywords. This doesn't have to be a super long description. A lot of the times with Pinterest, people are just going to actually click the photo and then click directly to the product. So it's not necessarily something that I would put too much time into. Then I'm gonna go down, and then this is very important here. We're gonna put our product link. So we would go over to our Etsy shop and we would grab that exact link for our product. You wanna make sure it is directly that link that's gonna bring them straight to that product. Then we're gonna pop that in there, put our link, And then this is where you're gonna create your board. So if you have multiple types of products in your shop or on your store, you should create a board for the different aesthetics or for the different products. Kind of do with that as you will. So I'm just gonna create an aesthetic hoodie board. And then for the tags, I'm just typing in a few keywords and then taking in the words that it's giving me for those tags. So Pinterest is gonna show you match tags that you should type in. And that is important as well. And this can be kind of tedious. Like you may have to spend a little bit of time just figuring out the different words that will work for you. Now you can either publish this right away or you can go ahead and publish at a later date. So if you're somebody that wants to schedule these out for a pin every single day or 2 pins a day, go ahead and do that with that option. But then I'm just gonna go and publish my pin. And then I can take a look at it. I can make sure that this pin is gonna go directly to my shop by clicking on it and wherever it takes me to that direct listing. So double check that. Now that pin shows up on our board. And again, you're gonna have your separate account to do this. And you want to post as many pins as you can, as consistently as you can. Now, do not go crazy and be spamming your Pinterest account. This can cause for a ding 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 on their end that can flag you and possibly have your account suspended from posting. This has happened. Don't be worried about that, but just don't overdo it. Post a pin when you can and make sure you're using those super aesthetic photos. Even try out the same Etsy listing or the same product linked with different types of photos, and just keep doing this and building a curated Pinterest account. Now there is also an option to just use Etsy's Pinterest integration. This may be faster for you and just like linking it directly in that way. I prefer to actually create them myself because I feel I can add more to it, but that is totally up to you if you want to try out both methods. And again, if you want to create the different photos for that same product, that works well as well. So something I want you to keep in mind about Pinterest is it can take a little bit to start getting eyes on your Pinterest account. So if you are posting consistently, just be patient, keep posting, keep going, change up your strategy if it's not working, find different ways to get keywords, experiment a little, but just keep being consistent with it. Let me know if you have tried this method. I would love to hear about how it's worked for you, or if you've had a pin do really well. I personally had a pin go viral and it blew up one of my Etsy listings. It was so amazing. So it's definitely possible. And that did not happen that long ago. I know that sometimes people say Pinterest isn't used anymore. It totally is. Come at it with an angle of what people's intention on Pinterest is and sell the vision of your product, not your product. I really hope this video was helpful to you. Leave me a comment if it was. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.